Okay, so first thing we need to look at is classifying angles. This should be all review because this is stuff that you probably learned in 4th or 5th grade, the first bit. So if I give you an acute angle, what's an acute angle mean? Less than 90 degrees. So if I were to draw the angle, this would be an example of an acute angle, and it is less than 90 degrees. What is a right angle then?
More than
90 degrees. So a right angle is going to look like this, but whenever it's a right angle, they're going to have to put the little square there to show it's a right angle. If that is not there, you can't tell if it's a right angle or not. Okay, so a right angle is exactly 90 degrees. Obtuse angle. What's an obtuse angle? More than 90, so there would be an obtuse, so more than 90 degrees. So you should be familiar with those three, but there's one other one that you may not be as familiar with these. Does anyone know what it is? The 180, which is called what? A straight line, but it's also called a straight angle. Alright, so a straight angle would be a straight line, and it is exactly 180 degrees. Okay, so that should all be reviewed, correct? You know acute, you know obtuse, you know right, you know straight. Alright. Now what if I ask you to name the angle in 4 ways? Okay, because when we're talking about angles, there's certain way that you can call them an angle. On your project next week, you're going to have to do a lot of identifying which label or which angle you're talking about. So this is going to be important to know. So let's say I give you this angle. Not right because it doesn't have a square. Okay? But when I want to name it in 4 ways, I'm not asking for one of these 4. Okay? I'm asking for using these letters and the number, how can I name the angle? Alright, so one way is I could do angle FGH. So this little symbol right here means angle. So when you're talking about an angle, you have to put that symbol so I know you're referring to an angle. Right? We could also go backwards on it and do angle HGF. What? We could start from the middle, but it would just be angle G then. Okay? Huh? That's 3 ways. We got one more to name it. So we could also call it angle 2 because they give us that number there. We can refer. It's not saying this is 2 degrees because it doesn't have the degree symbol by it. Okay? So you can go from the 3 letters. You can do just the vertex or just the number. Could I just do F? No, because that would mean F is down here. Okay? What if I give you this angle? So I want to name it 3 ways. What's one way I could name it? So I could do angle JLK. I could do angle KLJ, and there's one more way. Angle L. No, this is the angle symbol. Remember, you have to classify that it's an angle. Okay? Questions on naming angles? Okay, we also want to look at what we call vertical angles. So let's say I have these angles, and I'm saying this is angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, and angle 4. So vertical angles mean they're opposite, or they're diagonal from each other. So what's one example of vertical angles? 4 and 2. So I would say angle 4, angle 2. Those are an example of a vertical angle because they're diagonal from each other. What's another one? Angle 3, angle 1. So if they're vertical, they are going to be the same angle measurement. Okay, so if I said angle 4 was 63 degrees, was angle 2? 63 degrees. Okay, so diagonal from each other, they're going to be the exact same angle measure. Another one is adjacent. Adjacent is right next to each other. So I could look at angle 1 and angle 2 because they're right next to each other. I could also say angle 3, angle 4. I could also do angle 1, angle 4 because they're still next to each other. And angle 2, angle 3. So what do you notice about adjacent angles? What do they share? So if we're looking at angle 1 and angle 2, angle 3, angle 4, what do they share? They're going to share a side. No, because they don't tell me that. In this picture they look like it, but they don't tell me that. So with these, they're going to add 280 degrees. Because a straight line has how many degrees? 180. So if I knew the measure of angle 1, could I find the angle of measure 4? Yeah, because you know it would be a straight line. Okay? So if I only gave you one measure in this, you should be able to identify all the other measurements. Okay? Look at, if I ask you to identify a pair of verticals and adjacent angles in the diagram. So let's say here are my angles. I want adjacent and vertical. So who can give me one pair of adjacent angles? Justin? Angle 5, angle 4. What's another one? Isaac? Angle 3, angle 4. Are there any other adjacent angles in this picture? No, because they don't tell me what this one is. Okay? What about vertical angles? Angle 5, angle 3. Are there any other verticals? No, because they don't tell me anything across from 4. Hey, what about if I give you this angles and said 5, 6, 7, 8? Again, I want adjacent and vertical angles. What's an example of adjacent angles? Hey, I heard 5, angle 6. I also heard angle 6, angle 8. What else? Angle 7, angle 8. Angle 5, angle 7. Any more adjacent angles? No. What about vertical? That have angle 8, angle 5, angle 7, angle 6. What is the value of x and y in the following picture? So here's y, here's x, 60, 120. Okay, so Justin thinks y is 60, x is 120. Do you agree or disagree? Agree. So x was 120, y is 60. How do we know that? Okay, so x is vertical to 120 and y is vertical to 60. What's another way you could do it? Well, these are straight lines. What do straight lines equal? How much? 180. So if I know this is 120, what's this one have to be? This would have to be 60 because it has to equal 180. Same thing here. I know this is 60, so what's x have to be? Has to be 120. Let's try another one like that. If I give you 76, 104, and x, what is x equal to? 104, because we know it's a vertical angle. Okay? Questions so far? Alright, we're getting close to being done. Complementary angles. We got 2 more things in notes and then a couple examples to go through. Complementary angles. The sum of the 2 angle measures add to 90 degrees. Okay, so you're going to have 2 angles. So if I said this is angle 1, angle 2, I know they're complementary because then together equal my right angle. So then supplementary angles angles add together to equal 180 degrees. Okay, so if I have a straight line, and here's angle 3 and angle 4, these two angles would be supplementary angles. A lot of kids mix these up. So if you remember, C and 90 go together, S and 180. Because think 90 comes before 180 when you're going through the numbers, C comes before S in the alphabet. Okay, a couple examples to go through. So identify as complementary, supplementary, or neither. Okay, so I'm going to give you two angle measures that I want you to tell me complementary, supplementary, or neither. So let's say the first one is 128 degrees and 52. So how can I check to see if they're complementary, supplementary, or neither? Add them up. So I'm going to take 128 plus 52. 8 and 2, 10, carry my 1. 1, 2, and 5 gives me 8 and a 1. So what type of angles are they? Supplementary. What about if I give you two angles that are 40 degrees? Add them up. 40 plus 40? Neither. Okay, because it has to be either exactly 90 or exactly 180 to be either complementary or supplementary. What about if I give you this picture? Now I want to know if X and Y are complementary, supplementary, or neither. How could I tell? So if this is 90 and this is a straight line, what do these two have to equal? Well, the straight line is 180. So if I know part of it's 90, what's the other part? 90. So what does it have to be? What type of angle though? Complementary. Complementary is 90. Okay. Questions on any of that? Hey, you can put your notes away. Actually, you might want them for your homework.